Welcome back, everybody. We're about to hop into our first adventure of the night, which I have entitled the Cast-A-Wish Foundation. Excited to hop into it, but before we do that, as always, we are going to introduce our first characters tonight. So, without further ado, first up we have rejoining us, Tizix. Good evening, Tizix.
Oh, good evening. It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you as well. How have you been? I feel like it's been a while since I've seen you out in the adventuring fields.
Well, yeah, I'm a little stronger, a little wiser. Yeah, just I'm really kind of looking forward to things. Although I miss Zuzip. She's been gone for a while.
Now, one question: when you say you're a little bit stronger and a little bit wiser, do you mean that literally, or more just kind of in the broad strokes? Kind of, you've gained life experience.
Yeah. I've been gaining more and more life experience now that I've been brought back to life.
I understand. I didn't know if maybe you'd also been quite literally working out and gotten stronger. But Tizix, yeah, you haven't had a lot of time, I would imagine, to hang out with Zuzip now that they're so busy with all of their myth-tier gallivanting about.
Yeah, her boat's really nice. Oh, don't tell her I called it a boat. She might get upset.
Your secret is safe with me, Tizix. It's lovely to have you back with us this evening.
Thank you. I've just found that this has been very wholesome and good for me to recover from the thing that happened a long time ago that I'm still angry about.
Well, I'm glad that we're able to be a point of stress relief for you in that regard, Tizix. Excellent. Next up, we have joining us once more the inventive mind himself. We have Professor Dingleheimmel with us. Good evening, Professor.
Good evening.
Tell me, Dingleheimmel, how have you been? What have you been up to? Any new inventions that you've been working on?
Yes, I have invented a new device. I call it a stasis gun.
A stasis gun?
Basically, if I shoot it at someone, they suddenly turn stiff.
What is the how does this technology work? I mean, I guess you can't share too many proprietary secrets, but could you tell me a little bit? It might be too much for me to understand.
It probably is too much for someone as simple-minded as yourself to understand.
Understandable.
But in basic terms, think of it like a taser, except it wraps around the entire body and shocks you, and then you're completely stunned and unable to move at all.
That sounds terrifying, Professor. Well, are you planning to, I imagine today's a great day to get some field testing to see how it works.
Indeed. I'm ready, and I'm also glad to see my buddy jixk. It's been forever since that game show.
Yes, yeah. I believe you guys competed on that family food knockoff together.
Yep.
Wonderful, and don't worry about what Family Feud is. That's from my world. But Professor Dingleheimmel, it is lovely to have you again with us tonight.
Thank you.
And also joining us, we have Navera, and of course, Omen at your side as always, the Fey Butcher. Good evening, Navera.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. But how are you, Navera?
It's been good. I recently came across a rather wondrous item that has enabled my search to go far smoother.
What is the item that you're referring to?
It's an enchanted dagger that, when placed within water, will simply direct me towards the closest Fae. So if I just keep following that, killing it, and then checking again, eventually I'll find what happened to my village.
I suppose that is going to inevitably lead you down the path. I guess the only fear would be that the Fae are recreating and growing in population at a rate greater than which would lead you ultimately to your goal. Not to cast a pall or a shroud on this new strategy at all.
Then I'll kill more until there's none left.
I have to say, Navera, it's partly terrifying, but I do feel an admiration for your single-minded focus and determination on this goal.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Anyway,
And how is Omen?
Omen has been quite well. In fact, I recently took him to a park.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since I was last recruited by Bartholomew for an adventure.
Yes, and I hope I hope everything goes well for you today. I imagine it'll be nice for Omen to really be able to cut loose a bit, get back out there.
Oh, for sure. Usually the little monsters die with one arrow.
Hopefully there's some better game for you to hunt. Welcome back, Navera.
Thank you.
And, of course, last but not least, we have joining us Sunny, the Sun's Radiance. Hello, Sunny.
Oh, hi. Hey.
Sunny, how are you today?
Very good. That Navera's scary. Oh.
Don't worry, Navera only has problems with Fae, so I'm sure you'll be fine. You're not Fae, are you, Sunny?
No. I'm a plant.
Then you're fine.
Yeah, no problems. There shouldn't be any quarrel, but yeah, maybe a little bit scary. I can kind of understand, especially to you, who's always so cheerful and upbeat, Sunny.
Of course.
How are things in your home?
Fantastic. We're growing some more stuff. I guess it's really cool. I guess strawberries. We're growing strawberries, so that's nice.
Yeah, I suppose that is strawberry season. Are you growing? When you say you're growing strawberries, are you growing like Strawberry Patch Florin, or
Yes.
are you growing regular strawberries?
Strawberry Patch Florin and regular strawberries. Both
I imagine
of them.
I imagine also just regular strawberries. Do you eat strawberries, Sunny? I never quite understood like the diet of many Florins. I know it varies from case to case.
No, I only eat meat. Only meat.
Of course. My mistake. Why would I?
What do you think I am, a cannibal?
Yeah,
Come
I don't
on.
know what I was thinking, Sunny. I'm sorry that I even asked such a ridiculous question. It's lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
Got me on that one. All right, before we hop in, or as we hop into tonight's adventure, we're hopping in now. This is officially the hop. We are going to begin in Bartholomew's shop. The four of you walk in, and you can see Bartholomew standing behind the counter, and he looks maybe a touch exasperated as he greets the four of you as, greetings, adventurers. I'm glad that you were able to come in today. I know I didn't have many details for you about what it was you're going to be doing. I would like to, you're needed around the shop to some extent this afternoon. How are all of you doing?
Hey,
Bartholomew?
doing wonderful.
I'm glad to hear that, Professor.
I'm-
Hello. Yes.
Going to need you to explain to me why it is that every single time you call me, it's for some inane task.
Well, and he looks a little bit like sheepish as you ask this. Before I answer that question, let me tell you about your task today. You see, there's a number of wizards here in the lands of DnDTime. They extend all over. I'm a part of the Wizard Coalition, and naturally I like to keep abreast of all the news and comings and goings. They have something of a charity that they all do. They call it the Cast-A-Wish Foundation, and basically they choose an unfortunate child and let them cast a wish spell. It is, in my opinion, an extremely irresponsible misuse of cosmic power that has the ability to, reshape reality at a whim, and that is coming from me.
Reshape reality at a whim.
Yes, and they give that to a child. And this year's wish was actually relatively tame. There's been a lot of children in the past who have wished for things that have unmade the world as you know it. But this year they just wanted to be a member of our adventuring troupe here, and with their wish, essentially signed the binding contract, making them an official adventurer here in Bartholomew's shop. They are a child with no particular skills or abilities.
Please tell me you at least gave this child something to defend himself with.
Well, that wasn't really part of
holds up the dagger.
Well, yes, I did give them something to defend themselves with. She'll be here shortly. Her name is Annie. I gave her you 4 on her first adventure today. I thought you know, I can't really send a kid out. I do have certain sort of moral standards. So I need the four of you to bodyguard this child and just honestly just make sure that she has a good time. She's had a bit of a rough go of it, and well, it would mean a lot. This was apparently her greatest dream and wish.
Okay, I gotta say, if this little child is a redhead and carrying a teddy bear, I'm out.
I have not had the opportunity to meet little Annie as of yet, but
Bartholomew, I do have one question.
Yeah.
If we are taking them on an adventure, don't we need a proper adventure to go on?
Yes. Well, I was going to ask you. I have a few of them here, and he just kind of lays them out. We didn't really have anything good, but I just wanted to get them, get it kind of over with. We don't really have anything good, and I didn't want to do anything too dangerous. I have a few just sort of rote enemies to defeat here. There's a necromancer held up, and he kind of just starts running you through some papers. Just pick one that seems, the town guard senses some of their overflow from time to time, and usually I just let those ones go. But it looks like from looking at a few flyers that Bartholomew starts sending your guys' way, there's a necromancer that's kind of held up. There's a dragon that's been looting along with some kobold minions. There's a goblin army that's been kind of assembling. So those are the three that he kind of throws out at you. I don't know what you thought would be the most child-friendly. It's not really
goblins.
Something that I do.
Goblins are most child-friendly.
So is
Goblin.
Navera looks at the dragon one. Is it already dead?
The dragon?
Yes.
No, it's still very much alive.
Okay. Well, we're not bringing a child to a dragon's den, nor are we showing her what a necromancer can do. So goblins it is.
As much as it displeases
I'm glad that I put this in your hands. Yeah.
As much as it displeases my morals to have to hurt other species, I guess I can do it. If it's math goblins, sure, I'll hit her in the head.
Professor, the last time we met, I'm pretty sure I watched you vaporize a fish man.
And as you say that, you hear a little ringing of a bell behind you as the door to Bartholomew's shop opens, and you hear a voice go, "You vaporized a fish man?"
Jixk, I think we should drop that topic now.
And you see a small child walks in. She has long red hair. It's not in pigtails. It's just in one ponytail, and is carrying what looks to be some kind of stuffed animal, maybe a rabbit. I don't think it's a bear.
I'm scared.
It's not a teddy bear.
And the child kind of looks up at Bartholomew and goes, "Wow, I finally get to meet the real Bartholomew, and oh my goodness, you're Navera. Is Omen here? Can I pet Omen?"
Yes, Omen. And Omen will just trot forward and bow his head, I suppose.
And you watch as this kid walks over and begins to just get very excited about petting your pup, and then starts kind of just looking around the shop very starry-eyed, gazing at each of you with the glee of someone who is living out their lifelong wish. And Bartholomew kind of looks down and goes, "Yes, so this is Annie. This is the girl that you'll be taking on your quest today. It looks like you're going to be," and he kind of looks at you questioningly as he says this, "dealing with some goblins today. Is that right?"
Yes, that is good.
Yes, indeed.
Right. Very good. There's a goblin camp that you'll have to go and make sure that you roust them out of there. Maybe not a lot of killing today.
Navera's just looking for any sort of blunt weapon on her, but everything's sharp.
No killing is fine. Hi, Annie. You can pet me if you want.
And looks over and just kind of runs up and just gives you a big hug. Jixk, oh my goodness. Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you. You can jump. How high can you really jump?
I'll show you when we're outside, because otherwise I'd bonk my head.
You could go all the way to the ceiling.
And more.
Oh. And kind of looks over. and looks over at you, Sonny, and goes, Sonny? You're Sonny, right? Can I have...
Yeah.
Can I have one of your petals?
Okay. And I just...
Wait, really?
Yeah. And I just give her a petal. Or, no, I just give her my whole arm and just rip it off. There.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
She looks and just goes, are you okay?
Yeah, it'll regrow. I'll be fine.
Oh, Annie, yeah, don't worry. They do that. They do that.
They are plant people. They can regrow their limbs very quickly and easily.
Oh, you're Professor Dingleheimmel.
Yes.
What are you working on?
Just some way to stun people with a stasis weapon.
And that is where we will leave that topic.
That sounds really dangerous. All right. We're doing goblins? I've never seen a goblin before, so I'm really excited.
Think you, but ugly and green. Now come along.
And also very mischievous and prankster-like.
Okay. That sounds like I'm kind of mischievous. I can make a prank if I have to. I can leave maybe if they sit down, I can like pull the chair out really quick and then they'll fall and run away.
They also do more mean things like pickpockets and steal people's wallets.
Can I have a sword?
Every small girl deserves her. How old are you?
I'm 8 years old.
Perfect time for a sword.
I was about to give her a small little sharp tool of mine, okay.
Navera's pulling out a blunt dagger.
You pull out a blunt dagger, but she's already kind of moved past you and goes up to Bartholomew and goes, Bartholomew, can I have a sword? Big one. And Bartholomew goes, I am contractually obligated to give her. So, and you watch as he just conjures, and she's now an official member of Bartholomew's adventuring troupe. What looks like a very vicious-looking longsword, and hands it over to Annie.
Navera minds strangling Bartholomew behind Annie.
I don't have a choice, and it's the rules. There's rules.
Just be careful with it, Annie. It's quite heavy, and it can really hurt someone.
All right, I'll be careful. I'll only swing it at the bad guys.
I have an idea.
Only at the bad guys.
And she starts also just swinging it in there. Yeah?
Would you like a crossbow? I got a nice one.
Oh, that sounds really cool. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, it's easy. You put the arrow thingy here, and then you pull it, and you pull it back, and then you fire it. What?
You watch as they start they kind of take it, and they start trying to pull the crank, and they just don't seem strong enough to, like, draw back the wooden lever that locks the crossbow.
Navera's just going to pick that up and pass it back to Sunny. And say, let's just leave her with her sword, and she might get to swing it at a couple of goblins if she behaves.
The sword is definitely heavy too. Just dragging it on the ground behind her after a couple of quick swings that are using her whole weight to kind of carry it around. All right, now how do we go? How do we get there? Bartholomew goes, are you all ready? I'm going to send you out.
Okay.
All right.
Quick question.
Yeah. Yes.
How do I make magic non-lethal? Can you remind me? I don't know.
You make it non-lethal by
going only for non-lethal body parts.
By not having anyone who would be worried about the fact that it's non-lethal see the person, and then you just disappear. They just disappeared.
Oh, okay. That's good. I like that. All right.
Great. He snaps his fingers, and you find yourselves transported suddenly to a distant forest. And Bartholomew kind of speaks to you in your mind. Goblin camp's not very far from here, maybe 100 meters north or so. Like I said, just make sure she has fun, and don't kind of traumatize this kid.
Pete, quick question.
Yes.
For the sake of this adventure, especially under the contractual obligation, Would Annie like to reach into Bartholomew's bag for an item for the quest?
Annie kind of or do you say that to Annie?
Yeah. I mean, if in the game, I don't know if it would slow things down or whatever, but I think it'd be interesting. So yes, Tissix would talk about Bartholomew's bag and see if Annie wanted to draw from it, because that's a part of being a Bartholomew adventure, is reaching into the.
It also requires money.
Goes, I don't have any bucks. I don't have any dollars yet. This is my first adventure.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'll give her $500 to reach into the bag.
Oh my goodness! You certain?
Yeah.
Are you? 100%?
Yeah, I want you to have fun, and I want you to feel like an adventurer, just like I've grown up to be.
All right, if you're sure. And as you're kind of saying this, you hear Bartholomew's voice in your mind say, "I can get there with the bag, but are you 100% certain on this?"
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. I think she should grow up to be strong and brave.
Navera's eyes are bugging.
There's no more grenades in there, right?
I hope that he rolls. There's tons of grenades in there. I'm not gonna joke around on this. There are quite a few grenades.
Annie, stand close to me and reach into the bag.
All right, I hope she rolls 1,000.
If she rolls, I'm pretty sure Annie.
Item. Oh no! All right, Annie reaches into the bag and gets a. Oh my God, this is adorable. Annie reaches into the bag and pulls out what appears to be a soft woolen bonnet.
Yes.
Bartholomew speaks up. Yes. This is thank God. This is a simple woolen bonnet. While you wear it, you appear less dangerous, and you gain a +1 bonus to animal handling check.
The wolf next to her automatically likes her more.
And the bunny folk too.
Yes. And Annie kind of puts on the bonnet and goes, "Wow, my own magical item. How does it look?"
Wow, Annie, you're so pretty.
Well, thank you. Do you kind of walks over to Omen and goes, "Go and grab a stick."
Omen will look up towards Navera, and then she'll just tilt her head, like, follow along. And he'll go grab a stick.
It works! Oh. Kind of takes the stick and looks at Navera like, can I play fetch with Omen?
Yes, you may. As we walk. Come on.
All right, yeah, we gotta go. Should we be like quiet?
It
Yes.
doesn't matter if we're quiet or not. Those cutting goblins will probably find us anyway.
Goblin army.
Right. Oh, I don't know which way we're supposed to go. I think he said south, right?
Bartholomew tends to point us in the direction that we need to go.
And I think he actually said, unless I'm misremembering what I said, I believe I said.
No, you said north, but
Okay,
I'm
good.
trying
Just
to
north.
direct Annie south. Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear that I wasn't messed up on that. And he goes, "All right, south we go."
Okay, so let us go.
The rest of you could go north. We'll go south, right? That's a good idea.
That's not fun. No, we're not.
Oh,
Do not trick the poor child.
Wait,
okay.
Less-
Andy kind of
less-
goes, "Wait, what about tricking?"
Nothing. We were talking about tricking the goblin children.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
and then Navera just reaches over towards who was it that said south?
Sunny.
Navera just reaches over and grabs Sunny by the shoulder and pulls him in, just like, if we don't take the girl on the adventure, the wish doesn't end. We can't just have her wander around a forest for half an hour. Come on.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
Yep, let us fulfill this child's wish. And with that, I'm going to go walk out.
All right. And
Can Navera go on ahead to try and find? I presume we're in a forest.
yep, you are in a forest. And is that your favored?
Yes, it is.
All right, go ahead and make me a survival check with advantage
Right.
to try and track this thing down.
Oh, it's 22.
23. Yeah, you're 22. Okay. Well, the 23 had it, but the 22 is not even. No, I'm just joking. You begin walking through the forest, and it's not long. The goblins around this area are clearly not really trying to hide their presence all that much, and you're picking out footprints here, left and right, broken branches, signs of where maybe like large things were dragged through here. If Bartholomew's talking goblin army, maybe like catapults and stuff like that have moved through, and it eventually leads you to an encampment out here in the forest. As you successfully navigate your way towards, you can see some like wooden palisades forming kind of a wall around the area, and then two goblins you can see in the distance. You guys are far enough away that you don't quite need to start stealthing yet, but you can see these two guard towers on either side of a gate into this little goblin encampment here, little war camp here, where they're just kind of looking down and just watching anything that might come up to the gate. But that's where all of you are in the distance. And Andy kind of looks up and goes, "Are those the goblins up there?"
Yes. Okay. And Navera's going to try and crouch and like bring everyone down so they don't get spotted.
How do we go past that big wood wall? I can't jump high like Tizix can.
Navera will look over towards Tizix. Do you think you can carry her?
How tall was it?
It's about 15 feet, maybe. Kind of pointed at the top. So if it's close, it might be a little risky, but I can't remember how high you go.
And you said it was palisade, so it was just logs or
just logs sticking up with points on the end.
Sure. I'll hold her in one paw, and I will do a bunny hop, and I'll use my whip to whip around one of the logs to, make sure that we're secure.
Pretty cool.
Meanwhile, can Navera try and scale one of those guard towers to try and,
get ready? You guys are just heading right in. Do you guys want to make stealth checks on your way up? And as you're kind of carrying Annie, and he goes, "All right, what should I do? Should I throw a rock at him or something?"
I never figured how to get up there, but I know how I'm going to get up there. I'm going to... Give me a second. I teleport on to the top of the tower.
All right. What does Sunny do? Since everyone's kind of got a strap, you guys are going straight in. No subterfuge kind of needed here.
Navera's trying to take out the guards in the guard tower first before her friends here are seen.
I could take one of us literally into the thing because I have Thunderstep available.
Oh, Jesus.
We could just be inside if somebody wants to go with me. It's up to them.
That'd be kind of noisy.
But we're far away right now, so...
Yeah, this is... Once you've all kind of decided how you're going to proceed, we'll execute everything simultaneously here.
Would anybody want to go in like that? Or
bring the dog with you.
Okay, I'll bring the doggo.
That's actually a good idea. Yeah.
And we will Thunderstep inside with the doggo.
All right. In that case, you don't need to make any check at all. Both you and Dingleheimmel, as both of you are just teleporting. Dingleheimmel, you're getting right up on top of the guard tower. And Navera, you said you're trying to take out the guard tower guards.
Yes. It's probably,
are you trying to
probably, since they're behind cover, probably scale it and stab them with her daggers.
Okay.
Where the child cannot see them. They're resting.
I mean, you can make a non-lethal attack if you want to.
No, she's going to kill them. Just
okay, great. In that case, I need you to make me a stealth and a sleight of... Oh, you already rolled your stealth, so 19. Keep your 19. I also need you to make me a sleight of hand check to really make sure that Annie doesn't see, these two goblins get completely eviscerated, which is what they probably will do. Okay, 14's good enough to hide it from Annie, who's a kid, not paying that keen of attention.
She's too busy being hugged by the bunny.
Now I do also need you to make me an attack roll against the goblin that's up in the tower on the left. The towers are a little bit apart from each other, so you're gonna have to get one and get in the tower.
Is it just one? In each
there's
tower?
one in each tower. Yeah. So 20. Okay, so this is the whole stream of things. I imagine the way that you're doing this is letting Navera kind of sneak closer under the goblin's watchful eyes, and then doing everything all at once Navera strikes. makes sense to me. Is that kind of what you guys intend?
Yes, that sounds perfect.
She'll flip over one palisade and just stab it like that.
All right, roll damage. So you can
Okay.
kill a goblin in one hit, because it definitely hits. 6 points of piercing damage. And last but not least, Tizix. You're doing a cool jump, whip around maneuver here. Can you make me an acrobatics check? And
Navera can attack twice with those if that doesn't kill it.
that is going to kill the first goblin.
Absolutely. I don't know how much health goblins have.
And a 17. Nice rolls, you guys. All right, so to paint this 6 SWAT team, there's a sudden explosion of thunder as Navera climbs the tower, takes down a goblin in one swing, and perfectly timed so at the moment that Tizix, you're swinging around and into the goblin camp with Annie, who's there like, whee! Like super excited about diving in. Sunny, you explode into the space with the wolf. And then Dingleheimmel, you're on top of the tower where Navera just brought down this goblin. And there's another goblin on the tower on the other side who does see this happen. I mean, you can hide it from Annie, but not from the one who's like watching. And
I have an idea. I will light the goblin's pants on fire with a rocket.
Oh, as a second attack, could Navera try and throw her dagger?
You could do this. Yeah, well, you already used your action to teleport up. Oh, it's a bonus action. So yeah, you could also do this.
So immediately after I did that, I'm gonna make bees. Yes,
also a bunch of bees appear on a semi-related note.
Yes.
I'm going to shoot at a rocket at the goblin to make his pants on fire and make him panic.
All right, you might kill him, but fire away.
But yeah, cloak of bees.
Nope, I don't hit.
Will miss, unfortunately. Navera, do you want to make that other attack?
Yeah, let's do that. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, the dagger kind of flies and thunks a little bit to its side, just
Hopefully
enough
Annie
to
didn't
like
see that.
notify this goblin that he's under attack without hitting him. And I guess the fireball also kind of told him that he was under attack. The goblin kind of looks around and just, we're under attack! And you begin to hear like goblins from behind and into the camp, where you can now see Sunny, you next to Omen, can see goblins kind of like, huh? What was that explosion? And Annie's looking next to you, Tizix, and Annie's maybe looking just a touch nervous now, going like, all right, there's a lot of goblins here. Do I have to fight all of them?
No, stick close to me. We'll move in together. And I'll use my shield to protect you. And if your goblin gets close, just swing, and we'll see what happens.
I have power over animals now, so maybe if there's animals, I'll get those.
Oh no, I fucked up.
And I think at this point, I would like you guys to roll for initiative, as you've kind of kicked the hornet's nest here on this goblin camp.
Double crits.
2 basically crit fails on the stealth roll or the attack roll. Oh no. Where is it? Ah.
That is going to bring us to. Oh, I gotta roll for the goblins. Annie is going to roll a 14. All right, so you guys all go before the goblins. You can see them kind of getting themselves ready and moving out. They're now that you're all in the space, or either on the tower where you can see the space. There's the one goblin up in the tower next to you. There were like 5 goblins that were sitting around, maybe like roasting meats, it looked like, towards the center of the camp. There were a lot of tents. There's one very large tent towards the back. You can see a couple that are like moving a catapult on the side. And then there's a large tent at the back where presumably it looks like the main war tent here, where the leaders of this goblin clan might be. But you don't see any goblins that kind of seem to fit that description, at least immediately. Right now, you can just see a bunch of them that are kind of scrambling from that warning to grab weapons and get into the fray. That is the situation as we begin. The first to act is actually you, Tizix. What would you like to do?
Well, as I'm kind of the self-appointed bodyguard here, I will, I guess, go on the same turn. I don't know if you can put me on Annie's initiative or if I can sacrifice it to go with her, but she and I will be moving together so we can like be a team in this goblin camp.
Okay. Annie goes at 14, so I'll just allow you to. I mean, you can move now, and are you just going to carry Annie everywhere, or are you just going to stand next to Annie?
No, I'm going to stand next to her. I have the protection fighting style, so I want to make sure I can cover with my shield if something gets hairy.
Okay, I'll allow you to like build. Here's what I'll say. Your action is now, but for your movement, I'm just assuming that you're always moving exactly where Annie is, so you'll just always be adjacent to Annie.
Okay, sure. /follow.
Yeah, exactly. Is how we'll rule it in a moment. And
then what I'll do is, with my action, since I'm on auto follow, I know she wants to use her newfound powers here to try and command animals. And so I'll look around and see if there's maybe any birds or if we're in a forested area, or if there's squirrels or something. I'd like to look around on her behalf so I can point them out.
There are, I mean, yeah, you're in a forested region. Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Ooh.
You are not seeing any immediately. I mean, you can hear the sounds. You know that there are birds. You can hear birds chirping in the forest around you, but you're not sure where any of them are. And the more moments that are kind of passing here, you see Annie kind of like almost immediately abandoning that idea and starting to reach for the sword for some true combat.
Okay.
Anything else on your turn, Physics? Bonus action?
Nope, that'll be my turn.
All right, that's going to bring us to Professor Dingleheimmel. What would you like to do?
Well, how high is this tower exactly?
The tower is a little bit above the wall, so maybe about 25 feet up. The wall's about 15 feet, and then you're on the roof of it. So
it would take me 25 feet
22.
to climb down. That's exactly enough for me to climb down.
Oh,
so
that's true. Well, your speed is
Well,
halved when you're climbing.
I was gonna say down a ladder or something, but that worked. Never mind. Then I guess instead I will just shoot a rocket at a random goblin.
Yeah, bring a goblin down. If you want to climb down, there is a ladder. The problem is that you're on the roof of the thing right now. So you'd have to like kind of jump down over a little gap to get to the ladder. So it'd just be a little bit of a trick. But if you want to try and do that, you could get down in one movement. You just have to make an acrobatics check, basically.
I'll attempt. Actually, no, my acrobatics is terrible. I'm just gonna do the rocket.
All right, go ahead and fire away.
Does a 15 hit a goblin?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a damage roll. 15's absolutely gonna hit. Are you going after one of the 2 catapult ones or one of the 5 camp ones?
The catapult one, because that catapult's bad.
All right. 6 points of fire damage is enough to finish off a goblin. As the firebolt rockets through the air, and he just goes, "Whoa!" As it flies over and crashes into, you hear a goblin, and is slain by the fire damage.
Don't look, child. Don't look at burning flesh.
Annie isn't close enough maybe to understand the ramifications of that. It was a cool magic ouchie, at the moment at least. Anything else on your turn, Dingleheimmel?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Sunny. What would you like to do, Sunny? You and Omen are right next to each other. You just exploded into the square. A lot of the goblins seem pretty focused on you at the moment because you had the kind of most dramatic entrance.
Perfect. I love them all focused on me because now they can slow down.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, okay, flank row. Yeah, they're going to make. You couldn't get either the 2 catapult, or sorry, the 1 catapult.
It's a 100-foot radius. It's a pretty big.
Oh yes, yeah. 100-foot radius. You can just get the whole zone. Yeah, so everyone's just slow.
That's perfect.
Yep, the inside of the camp is now just covered in vines. And anything else on your turn?
Well, I already have my Cloak of Bees up. I already have my bees up. so I will walk slightly away from the doggo. And that's it.
All right. You take a few steps. You're also affected by the slow, right?
Yes, I am. I'm also slow.
Okay.
Yes.
So just everyone's very slow. As we move next to... when you said slow, I thought you were casting a slow spell when you first said it, and I was like, oh.
No, it's plant growth. It's everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's slow.
That's the whole zone. That's going to bring us now to Annie. Annie was like getting the sword and getting ready to charge into battle, but kind of looks down and is like, oh man, there's a lot of plants here. Where did these all come from? And she begins kind of like just slowly hobbling through the plants and is kind of getting tired, kind of hacking at some of the plants with the sword as she walks forward. She's unable to reach a goblin this round. That's all for her turn. Jixk, you move alongside of Annie. As we move next to, I believe it's Navera.
Right. Navera is going to try and jump into the other guard tower next to that goblin. Is that good?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat your action? I just need to...
Yeah, she's going to try and jump into the other guard tower with the still living goblin.
Oh yeah. That's going to be athletics.
Could it be acrobatics?
No, that's kind of like a big long jump.
Right, gotcha. Can't swing at
you
anything.
can try and like, if you want to acrobatics, you could try and like run along the top of the wall.
Yeah. Okay, do that then.
Yeah, I mean that would be the same thing.
She'll swing.
I guess effectively there. So yeah, go ahead and make an acrobatics check. 9 is not going to quite cut it. It was actually a DC 10 was what I had set for it. So as you are kind of running along the wall, you kind of catch a stray foot, like you didn't realize that the gate was unlocked, and it kind of moves out from over, begins to open up and throws you off balance, and you end up falling to the ground, taking 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you crash.
Alright, she's going to grumble at that, and then try to climb her way back up.
Alright, that'll be your action at this point, because it was your move to kind of get to that point. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine. She'll just stare at this goblin.
Go ahead and make the, actually, well, you're on the other side of the wall now, so you can just climb up the ladder, so that's no problem. You're just up next to this goblin. As we get to...
Oh, wait, no, sorry. I forget how Omen works all the time.
Is it bonus action?
I think it, like, legit, his action is my action at the same time.
Okay, well, you can move him if you want him to move somewhere, I think, is the thing.
Okay, Omen's going to go run over next to Annie, because I forgot to point this out, but because we're in a forest, difficult terrain doesn't slow us.
Oh, that's very cool.
Oh, perfect! So it's the whole party, so we're not actually slowed. Fantastic, just everybody else is. Great.
Quick question on that. Is it non-magical difficult terrain, or is it all difficult terrain?
It just says difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
Excellent. That's very good. I'm not sure if that's how that works, but we'll say that it is. And we're going to, in that case, Omen's able to get over to Annie. Annie's still having trouble with it. That's going to be the goblin's turn. The goblin that's up in the tower next to you is going to go ahead and take a stab at you. They pull out a wicked-looking little scimitar and are going to slash towards you. That's a 6.
She's going to cleanly sidestep that and reach out for him. That'll be next time.
All right. And then the one that was over on the catapult. Actually, basically all of these fools are going to just send in a volley of arrows. And as they do so, they kind of like, they pick up their bows. You see they kind of like go to charge, but they're getting tangled up in the plant growth here. So they're instead going to, like I said, just, unleash some shots with their short bows. The 5 that are around here are going to, a couple arrows head your way, Jixk. You see a couple head your way, Sunny, and then one's going to take just a pot shot at you, Dingleheimmel, who are kind of farther back on top of this tower. And so the first 2 are going to be against you, Jixk. The first one, it flies towards... Oh, that's a 20, Jixk.
Hit.
And then you see the next one, it arced and was clearly aiming towards you, as this goblin doesn't see a lot of threat in this child that's running up with a sword, but it looks like it's angling more towards Annie than it is towards you, just by a misfire. What do you do, Tizix? Are you using protection here?
Could it reasonably be stated that Omen is in the way of that?
Are you trying to angle for half cover?
Yes.
I will.
And if it fails, it shoots Omen.
So if it fails, I'll say if it would be blocked by the extra AC from Omen, then it will hit Omen. Would be the rule on it. So they're gonna make an attack with disadvantage. That's a 6. All right, so Omen's actually fine because as the arrow kind of flies through the air and crashes down, Tizix, your shield just batters it to the side, and he kind of looks back at you and goes, "Thank you. I thought I was gonna get hit with an arrow. That would have been really scary, actually." And he seems to be starting to realize the reality of adventuring to a certain extent as we move. Next in... there's more goblin attacks. My apologies. 2 against you, Sonny. That's they're not at disadvantage, but those
Not
are
with that.
both misses. And then this one is at disadvantage on you, Dingleheimmel.
Disadvantage because range? Oh, that hits me anyway!
But it still hits for 3 as this goblin takes a Hail Mary. The arrow arcs through the air and lands a perfect shot at you on top of the tower. And that is all for goblin turn. We move back to you, Tizix. What would you like to do?
I'm going to look to Annie. Annie, being an adventurer isn't just about being strong. It's also about being compassionate, looking for resources, and being the best you that you can.
Annie kind of looks at you and just kind of like nods, sort of, okay.
And I'm gonna use my little bunny paw to boop her on the nose and give her hair.
Oh. And as you cast heroism on Annie, Annie kind of goes like, okay, I think I can do that. I'm gonna go. I can battle, and she has the sword up again, as emboldened now, but maybe with a little bit more like cognizance of what it means to battle in her eyes, kind of a like, this isn't easy, but I'm still gonna try it because I feel so brave all of a sudden. Anything else on your turn, Tizix?
Nope.
All right, that's going to bring us next to Professor Dingleheimmel. What would you like to do?
As I see Annie become a little brave, I decide to make things a little bit easy for her, and it's time to use my newest prototype on a goblin that is closest to a goblin closest to Annie.
Okay, yeah, one of the ones that's kind of was cooking.
Give me wisdom, DC 13 wisdom save or be paralyzed, goblin.
Is this the taser that Navera's warned not to... Okay. We might be trying.
I'm going to have them make a wisdom saving throw. They fail.
Yeah, they failed.
So they are now paralyzed.
They're paralyzed, and that gives Annie the perfect opportunity to hit it.
All right, Annie's lined up for a strike.
Oh, no.
Anything else on your turn?
Not really. No.
In that case, Sonny.
Hey Annie, look, a flower. And I'm gonna point to a random flower.
All right.
Okay. I don't want her to see what I'm about to do.
All right, I need you to make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Or I guess a deception check, rather, too.
Oh, no, it's persuasion. You already called it.
I mean, I'm allowed to change it before you make the roll, but I'll let you keep your roll.
Okay.
Relax. All right, so you kind of look a flower, and Annie goes, huh? And kind of looks over in the direction. You're free and clear.
All right, fantastic. And it should actually be a 3rd level, but it's all good.
I mean, doesn't that last for a while?
Yes, it does, and I'm gonna hit it into a goblin.
Okay, I mean, Annie's gonna look immediately back. So, which are you picking? One of the ones in the camp?
Yeah, one of the ones close by me. You said there's like 5 that are.
Yeah,
real
there's
near
5
me.
there, and then there's one that's over at the catapult still, and the one next to Navera. All right, so you go ahead and.
Oh, actually, the catapult one. No, I'm gonna hit the one nearest me.
All right, so you go after the goblin there. They're gonna make what kind of save?
It is a 5 foot. It is a 5 foot radius, if that matters. So it could maybe potentially hit 2.
Yeah, you could get 2.
Yeah.
What's the save on it though?
Dex.
Okay.
Fail. Pass.
So 1 failure and 1 success as they.
Let me re-roll that, damn. Well, I mean, it should be 3rd level, so that should be an additional D6. So that would be 4 more damage on top.
So what's the total damage? Is 15?
Yeah.
All right. So this flaming sphere erupts into the space, and you watch as 2 of these goblins just kind of burn up. And well, you've killed 2 goblins. There's a big flaming sphere still there. Anything else on your turn?
No, not for now. No.
All right, that's going to bring us to Annie's turn, who looks over and sees the 2 goblins that have been kind of melted over here, and is going to make a wisdom save.
Immune to being frightened?
That's true. I'll give her advantage. This was more of an issue of comprehension. Yeah, Annie's Annie's okay at the moment. Not fully, it hasn't kind of occurred to her yet what has happened to these 2 goblins. She's looking over and just kind of looks at you, Sonny, and goes, "Good one!" And then begins striding forth, sword in hand, getting ready to attack the paralyzed goblin. Annie is going to make...
Do they get advantage since they're paralyzed, or no?
Annie automatically hits because the goblin's paralyzed, I believe.
Coup de grace.
Oh boy.
Yeah, a hit is a hit and a crit. This is a weapon that Annie is not proficient in, and her strength is not very good. So she's going to make an attack roll.
But isn't it a crit, though? Yeah.
Well, if she hits, she crits. So she has to roll to hit. But that's a 1, so she is not going to hit, but she does still hit because they're paralyzed. She's going to roll damage, which is going to be 1d8 minus 2. So 1 point of damage. You watch as Annie brings this sword back, and you just see as the flat of the longsword kind of grazes this goblin in the knee, who through paralysis goes just and he goes, "Got him! I got him!"
Good.
That's gonna bring us next to Navera.
Okay, 1 second. Right, Navera's gonna take a look at this cheeky goblin who tried to stab her and throw him out of the watchtower. Preferably on the side that
she's distracted by it. You're behind her now, and she's facing the goblin she just smacked.
Cool. She wants to throw him out of the watchtower then.
All right, go ahead and make a shove action.
Which one's that? How do you...
Make an athletics check to push, and then they'll make a contested roll. Cool. All right, you shove them, and they fall down to the ground below,
Nice.
taking enough to kill them. Exactly enough damage as they tumble over and just curse splunk as they hit the ground heavily and don't stand back up.
Nice. She can't attack anymore now, can she?
That is an action, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, a shove action, I believe you can do as part of... Do you have an extra attack?
She's got separate attack with dagger, but she's level 4.
Okay, yeah, no. So you are unable to do anything else in this round.
Okay. Can she draw her bow but not fire?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
You have your
She'll
bow
draw.
readied for the next round.
Yeah.
Which is going to bring us to the goblins' turn. 2 of the goblins are down from the fire, and so there's 3 in the middle and 1. So there's 4 goblins left.
The one has to make a saving throw again because they're paralyzed.
They'll do that at the end of their turn here. Oh, you're right, and that one's paralyzed, so it can't attack. So there's only 2 goblins that can... 3 goblins that can attack. We're gonna go 1 at you, Tizix. That's a 10. 1 at you, Dingleheimmel, with a disadvantage. 19 again, Dingleheimmel.
Ow, that still hits.
This one's sniping the hell out of you, and then you at Sunny. That's an 11, Sunny. I assume that misses.
That's not hitting, yeah.
Yeah, and that's all that's left of the goblins at this point. They're pretty beat up. As we move next in the initiative to the top. What would you like to do, Tizix?
You forgot the saving throw for the goblin.
Oh, you're correct. I did.
Oh, was there still something to resolve?
The goblin did not save even close. No. So, what would you like to do, Tizix? You're up right next to this goblin alongside of Annie, who just gave it a pretty good whack in the shin.
There's hang on. There's more to adventuring than just combat. You did very well. You struck a blow. However, if you can have a compassionate heart, maybe you can try talking to the goblin. And what I would like to do is look at the paralyzed goblin, and I just want to give it like the meanest old stink face, like, and he's going to cooperate, right?
I would like to make an intimidation check with advantage because he's paralyzed and his allies are being decimated. Yeah, there's not really much of a question about this one.
Baring my bunny teeth, just like speaking through my little wiggly nose, and just cooperate with her or else.
Goblin learns common just out of fear.
And the goblin does common, and he looks down. He looks past at you, Tizix, and his eyes, he can't move, but you see his eyes go up and down as if to represent what a nod would be.
Okay.
That's going to...
Maybe I could sneak in like a just fall down kind of a thing.
He can't because he's paralyzed.
Well, yeah.
But he'll do the best he can. You're certain that he's going to do everything in his power to accommodate this child. That's going to bring us to Dingleheimmel. What would you like to do?
Instead of attacking the goblins with another one of my inventions, I'm going to completely demoralize them.
Oh no, you're close already, but what do you got?
Okay, so you said there was a tent, right? A main tent?
Yeah, there's a main tent.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray. 2 of them are gonna go on the catapult, and one's gonna set the freaking tent on fire.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll on the catapult, because that's a little bit tougher, but the tent, you can just send 2 Scorching Rays at it. It's a massive target. You can't really miss. And from those points...
No, only 1 hits the tent.
Okay, so you're 2 with the catapult.
Set it on fire.
Okay, yeah, so that from that one, it begins to ignite. Roll damage for it. That's 2 on the tent, as that kind of is the thing that's going to start the fire. And then the other 2, the 10 and the 7, the Scorching Rays, they crash into the catapult, but they don't land quite a significant impact for it to catch. The wood is very thick, and there's not like any kind of kindling in it for it to really go on. Well, roll damage just in case. If you get a really high damage roll, you might be able to pull it off still. Because the 10 hits. Okay, yeah, that's not going to quite do it. But the tent is absolutely ablaze, and you can hear a voice come from within the tent as it begins to light very quickly. Very, very quickly. You can hear a voice from inside kind of start calling out, "What's going on?" Anything else on your turn?
Does it sound like a goblin voice?
Could be.
Nope, that is the end of my turn.
Had the same rough accent. As we move next in initiative 2, Sunny. What would you like to do, Sunny?
Okay.
Well, I still don't want her to see me burn these people alive. I can't really non-lethal magic. It just doesn't.
You go punch him.
But punching does no damage, like 1 damage. I'm magic. That's not gonna work real well. So I guess I'm gonna just continue doing this thing. I have no choice. Well, I mean, I do, but not really.
There's always a choice, but your choice now is to melt these goblins. Dex save, right?
Yeah.
With the way they've been brought down, you can only get 1 at this point, but that one will make a save. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Flaming sphere. Yeah,
All right. They are
just
going-
15 damage, not too cut in half, so that would be 7.
Yep, 7 points of damage. All right, that's enough to bring down another goblin as they melt and are destroyed and purged in flame. Some of the post consequences of this might be a little rough, but Annie's pretty focused on the one before Annie right now. As Annie goes up to this goblin and looks at you, Tizix, and then back to the goblin and goes, "All right, I hit you with my sword, so I beat you. So that means you have to stop being a goblin." And looks at you.
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
I love her.
I looks at Tizix and goes, kind of like questioningly, like, is that right?
Yeah, if you want, you could tell it to run away home so I can get spankings by its mom and dad for being bad.
Yeah, run away home so your mom and dad can tell you that you did bad. Go away, or I'll hit you with my sword again. The goblin kind of like nods, like, I want to, but
Can I end
can, like,
concentration
you can,
on
like,
this
go.
note?
yeah,
I
you can
end
let go.
concentration as he agrees to this, just to let them go.
All right. So as soon as he agrees to this, you break the paralysis that you kind of had hold over on this goblin with, and the goblin just kind of bows his head and goes, "Yes, brave warrior, I'll leave and rethink being a goblin, I guess. Goodbye." Sorry, and he runs away terrified, doing his best, and hoping that that's enough for you, Tizix, he runs away in abject terror. But one goblin remains, and you see Navera, this goblin at the back that's been sniping Dingleheimmel, with over near the catapult, is kind of looking around at the group here and doesn't seem to like his odds. And the turn passes to you, Navera. What would you like to do?
Well, Navera is not going to be outshined by a goblin, and is going to fire at him.
Oh no! All right. You are a longbow, right? Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are not in the long range. So go ahead and fire away. Roll damage. Yeah, that's a dead goblin. As he kind of is like looking up at you, like, "I'll give up," and an arrow passes through, slaying this goblin. And pretty much all the goblins are down now. And the reason I say pretty much, as we pass on to the goblin's turn, you see kind of emerging from the now smoking tent where Dingleheimmel kind of lit it up. You can see Annie's kind of like backing a little bit away from that because there's just a lot of fire in the area now that's kind of scary. And you see kind of walking out, kind of his feet getting caught up a bit on these plants, a very large looking hobgoblin, actually. And they look tough. They're wearing like heavy armor. And as he comes out, "What are you maggots do?" And he sees the devastation around him. And he sees the 5 of you kind of standing about and having destroyed this camp. And you see him kind of get ready and just kind of draw his sword, preparing for whatever battle lies ahead. And Annie kind of looks up. "Can I go? That's the boss, right? Can I go beat the boss?"
We'll go, yes. Let the others form up and start the plan. Then you can rush in, and you might actually be the one to save them. So let's watch and learn. Then we'll.
Okay, that's right. The heroes always come in at the best moment. That's like the first thing about heroes. And he's kind of like right now, pretty enraptured by our recent success, and Tizix's previous words is just getting ready to pounce at the right time. As we move to the top of the initiative, that is going to be. It was you, Tizix. The turn is yours, Tizix. What would you like to do? As this goblin kind of pulls out a sword and is looking around, "I'll deliver justice for my friends." As he's looking around, I was looking around the space at all the slain goblins here.
So I can hang back with her. I will take the dodge action, and I mean, I'll get the whip out. I have my whip and my shield standing next to her. I'm going to look at her. We'll have some encouraging, words as we wait for the others to rush in. Then we'll be the, she, but she'll be the one that, is going to save us all.
Very well.
So, yep, dodge action, everything ready.
All right. That's going to be... I imagine you also take a moment to kind of communicate that that's the plan to your party here, too.
Yeah, I'll speak out loud. I mean, if I have to, with over-exaggerated head nods and signals, powering.
Just kind of like, maybe you'll have to save that. Like, I get you. As we move next initiative to Dingleheimmel, what would you like to do, Dingle? What Dingle do?
Easy. You think armor is gonna stop me, you stupid hobgoblin? Well, I got just the solution for you.
Language.
I wonder if it's the solution I'm expecting it to. Oh, not the solution I thought it was going to be, but also a very good solution. He takes... I mean, nothing you can do about that. He takes 9 points of... force damage as magic missiles fly out, and he kind of looks on and off. They crash into him, hitting kind of weak points as they are magically homing in. We move next in initiative to Sunny. What would you like to do, Sunny?
Oh, hey, go gather an army. You clearly can't take us on by yourself.
All right, I'm going to let him make this wisdom saving throw with...
But that was convincing, right? Like, that was...
I'm going to let him make this wisdom saving throw with advantage, because all of his teammates are downed in front of him, and he's very angry.
Okay.
10,
he still fails, and he has to go gather an army.
All right, on his turn, he will attempt to gather an army. Anything else on...
No, that should be it.
Your turn. All right, that's going to bring us next to... that's going to bring us next initiative to Annie. And Annie's going, all right, I'm ready and I'm waiting.
Good. Keep your eyes open. The opportunity will come when we got to rush in and strike and save everyone.
All right, that's going to bring us next in initiative to Navera. What would you like to do, Navera?
Navera's... with her elf ears, I'm going to presume she's heard all that, and would normally be completely fine with allowing this hobgoblin to just run off. But the kid needs to finish its adventure, and so instead you hear like whistling come from the tower as Omen rushes forward to try and hamstring the thing.
All right. Omen, go ahead and have them make an attack roll. 16 actually is going to miss.
It's a 24 if there's an ally also hitting the thing.
Unfortunately, at the moment, there is not. So, yeah, just a 16.
Unfortunate.
Which is a good roll, but their armor class is just a touch higher. And so, yeah, Omen bites in and just gets a kind of a mouthful of metal. And that is going to... bring us next initiative to the Hobgoblin Captain.
As a bonus action,
I'm sorry.
Just Navera will hit it with Hunter's Mark.
Oh, absolutely. The captain is hunted as we move next to his turn. He was going to run away, but now he's literally being attacked. So he's going to pull out his great sword and just swing down at Omen. He has 2 attacks. He can't move very quick because of all these vines, so he has no other option really. That's a 22 and a 10.
10 misses. Oh, wait, can you hear me? Yeah, okay. 10 misses and 22 hits.
Okay. If it cannot use his move because he has no allies left. So that's going to be 7 points of slashing damage as the sword cuts into Omen, and he watches, and he kind of goes, "Should I go now? Omen's getting hurt."
Rescue Omen. As a side note, his amulet is coming in handy here.
Also, I don't think anybody's damaged it after I casted a spell.
But he's literally being attacked, so just like if he's being beset by a wolf, that is definitely the equivalent of ignoring that as to like throwing himself onto a spear by letting himself be just eaten by a wolf.
I'll hold her hand with my bun paw and I'll nod. Yes, you can go in and save the doggo.
All right, that is going to bring us next in initiative to the top, which is... Oh, sorry, there's the goblin turn, so it's the top. What would you like to do, Tizix?
Would you allow me to Misty Step with her?
This Misty Step does not allow you to take people.
No, I didn't know if you had a special consideration for her. If not, that's fine. I have a back.
That's outside of the realm of the spell,
Yep,
unfortunately.
that's fine. I can still do a forward bunny hop. So, holding on to her.
Okay.
She's gonna ride the bunny cavalry in towards the hobgoblin, and maybe we can do like a simultaneous strike or something.
All right. You're gonna go over and you're gonna basically hop over with Annie and then ready in action to also attack at the same time.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna rush forward, slap twice with my whip, and then look to her and because I can deal non-lethal if it comes down to it with that. So
okay,
and then I'll look to her to
go ahead and make those attacks. 20 will hit for 5 points of slashing damage as it cuts across and whips. You can see just and 24, another nice roll. Good rolls. 12 points of damage total as both sides of the face. The hobgoblin is sent to one side to the other. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. I'm gonna look to Annie and okay. I think we're all counting on you, including that hurt doggy.
And he goes, okay, I'm ready. As we move next to...
Me!
Dingleheimmel, what would you like to do?
I decide to let the child play the hero today. So what I'm going to do first is False Life, aka Shield Generator, on myself.
All right.
And then I'm going to shout, oh no, I'm hit! And I purposely walk off the roof. And fall. I purposely walk off the roof and fall and take whatever damage you give to me.
All right. Go ahead and make me an acrobatics check. You know you're doing this, so you can kind of throw yourself in such a way to maybe limit the damage. So that's good enough. We'll take half. So only take 2 points of damage, and your shield generator blocks all of it as you fall. And goes, Annie kind of looks back and goes, no, I'll protect you!
And that's the end of my turn.
Excellent. I love it. All right, that's going to bring us next to Sunny. What would you like to do?
Nothing, because I know that I will destroy this thing.
Oh, all right. You're just holding. Do you want to ready something?
No, because I also know that I will destroy this thing.
Fair enough. As we move next in initiative to Annie. Annie's going to make an attack. Does not actually have any bonuses right now. So she's just gonna make an attack. A 12. You watch as Annie brings the sword up and it kind of strikes off of the hobgoblin's armor and harmlessly deflects away as Annie goes, darn it, I didn't get him. And Annie kind of looks up at the hobgoblin and goes, you better give up or I'm going to send you home to your parents just like that other goblin. And he's going to attempt to make an intimidation check. Which is relatively, +1 to charisma naturally. But is relatively unfazed by this intimidation check. As we move next initiative to Navera, what would you like to do?
Navera's just watched her comrade throw himself off the roof with a raised eyebrow before sighing and like whistling to Omen, and Omen's going to try and tackle or like shove, make the guy go prone, the hobgoblin.
All right, Just taking a shove action?
Yeah.
Not doing the attack roll? Alright.
No. Not sure. Oh, does this thing look wounded? Like, heavily?
He's been relatively unhit as of yet. I mean, he's taking a couple of good hits. Yeah, so he is wounded.
Okay, but is he looking like a small child with a big sword that could kill him in one hit?
It would take a really lucky hit.
Okay, the dog's gonna bite.
Alright. He's gonna make a strength saving throw. You have advantage on the attack to start with.
Yeah.
13 is still not gonna get you there. As Omen goes to tackle down, but the weight of this armor is still kind of keeping him up.
Right. And then Navera's going to hopefully acrobat her way down to make it look like she's falling, but is entirely fine.
Go for it.
And land on top of the man who threw himself off of a bloody roof and has her doing this.
Ow!
She raises a hand to her forehead. Oh no! The spell has hit me, and then just throws herself.
19, you will also take half damage.
I love how I get dogpiled on.
You take no damage. You take 1 damage as Navera crashes down on top of you. Your shield also absorbs that.
She just tries to
So it's fine.
Ow!
just
All
grinds an elbow into him.
Top of the initiative, it's Tizix.
All right, let's. I will drop concentration on the heroism. This is her moment to be her own hero. She doesn't need my support any longer. And then I'll cast Hold Person.
All right. The Hologram is going to make a Wisdom saving throw. They succeed, unfortunately.
This is your
so much
time.
easier if he just died.
All right. That's going to bring us next initiative to Imel. You're on the ground,
Okay.
playing dead.
Yeah, I'm not playing dead. I'm just wounded. And there's also a Navera on top of me. Ow. I'm going to simply crawl out, and I'm going to get as close as I can with my remaining movement, and I will attempt to soften the target for Annie by throwing one of my tools at them.
And then quickly probably laying back down again.
Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Eh.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, damn.
Yeah, right through the armor. Yeah, right through the armor. Face plants on the ground.
Yeah, roll damage on that. 4 points of lightning damage, and hug him.
Not lightning. It should be. Why is it? Why did I say shock emitter? That should not bright.
Oh, I assume that was the thing.
It was 1d4, but it doesn't matter. 1d4 plus 2, but it doesn't matter. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, it worked out to a damage that could have been with that anyway, so it's fine. So they take 4 points of damage. It's bludgeoning damage, and the wrench kind of clatters into him. And anything else on your turn?
Nope,
right,
I face planted this in the ground.
All right, Sonny. This guy's starting to look pretty beat up, but maybe not enough that one attack would bring him down. It's close, though. What would you like to do?
You underestimate my damage. You really do.
All right, what's the play?
Sacred Flame.
All right, that'll be a reasonable one, I assume. Oh man, he's rolling so hot.
Oh no!
So good. All right. Anything else on your turn?
That should be it. Yeah.
All right, that's going to bring us to it. And he's got another shot. We'll see.
Wait, is he held at the moment? No, he's not.
He's not. So it's just another straight up roll. Yeah, unfortunately, you guys are gonna have to do something to give her a nice boost on this one. As Annie's going, this is the toughest opponent I've ever battled. As she swings the sword in again, we move next to Navera. What would you like to do, Navera?
Navera's going to lay on her side, draw her bow, and enchant it with Ensnaring Strike before firing a shot at him.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll. The longbow shot fires past, and he's still kind of unfazed. He moves to his turn, and there is now he's gonna swing down. He's gonna swing down at you, Tizix, and oof. That's gonna strike for a massive chunk. Both of those hit, right, Tizix?
Correct.
That's a sizable chunk of damage as you take a total of 27 points of slashing damage as the sword cuts into you.
All right.
That's all for his turn, and it's now yours, Tizix.
I'll look over to Annie. This is your moment. He got me pretty good. You're gonna have to do something.
No, Tizix! Don't you die on me! And he says.
And I will. Does the help action, would that give her advantage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, what I'll do then is I guess I'll like flop because I want to play into this. This is an awesome idea. Kind of all of us are falling and she's the only one left. I'll kind of flop forward against the hobgoblin, kind of Bugs Bunny style, like like grasp on. And so like the little grasp or like the falling on his foot or something might be the aid action to distract him.
Okay,
so she gets the advantage.
And he seems to have an incredible amount of resolve as Tizix, who's been mentoring her this whole time, goes down. As you do, the hobgoblin kind of looks down at you and just goes, "What are you even doing?" As we move next to, it is
Me.
Heimel, Dingle. What do you want to do, Dingleheimmel?
While they're doing that, I'm going to approach the hobgoblin and use the help action for.
Cannot double up on. She already has the help action from.
Okay. Well, then in that case,
Knock
I
him
get
over.
up close. In that case, I get up close to him. Wait, I can't knock him over. I'm not strong enough, but I can. I'll tase him for real disease this time.
Okay. Yeah, make an attack roll. All right.
I've got pepper spray.
6. He's pretty beat up at this point. Like, you think that it's getting into the range where Annie might actually get him with a hit.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
All right, Sonny, what do you want to do?
I will give Annie a nice light up sword. Her sword's not.
Radical. All right, yeah. The sword begins to glow, and Annie looks over you. I can feel the power!
Awesome, great.
That's awesome.
It's going to make an attack roll with advantage. Oh!
Yes.
She crits!
It was a -2. It was a -2, but an 18 does hit as we go.
That's still in that 20, even if it's.
That's still that 20, yeah.
That's 20. And we're gonna roll critical damage.
Get him, Annie. Get him.
As she hits, oh my god, for a massive 11 points of damage. She comes around, Divine Smite, thinking that her sword is now a paladin's as she smacks into the hobgoblin. And you hear the hobgoblin just kind of go, oh, gee, and kind of like fall over and kind of collapse in pain, no longer able to move, as this was a non-lethal strike, naturally hit once again with the flat side of the blade. And Annie kind of puts the sword up into the air and goes, I'm a hero!
Yay!
And kind of looks over to the side and goes, what happened to those goblins, and why is their skin all dark and crinkly?
Oh, don't worry about
And at that moment,
And I just bring them all back to life with my healing word. My healing light
they're
ability.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Little too late on some of those. You watch as one of them wasn't dead and kind of stands up. And go ahead and make me a deception check as you get at least one of them with this.
can Navera actually cast fog just all over the burnt bodies and the burning things?
Bad deception.
Yeah, you cast a quick fog cloud and
And can it also be?
What's the crinkly skin on these ones? And then you heal one and he gets up and goes, the fog covers over the other ones. Oh, I guess they're fine.
Yeah, they're all acting. They're just
I
pretending.
need your help, please. I'm hurt.
Oh no, what should I do? hold on a second, animals of the forest, and puts her hands on their head. No animals come to help you.
One animal comes to help.
Omen comes over and goes, oh, Omen, can you help him?
Yes, Omen's going to reach down to nuzzle Silix, and then Navera is going to cast Cure Wounds from where can't see.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just going to do a subtle lay on pause so she thinks that she's doing it.
Okay,
Fine.
great.
Good. Okay.
And
In that case, in the background, Navera is stalking into the forest with both daggers drawn towards where that hobgoblin was laying down.
all right. And with that, you heal yourself to 6, and Annie goes around, wow, I never thought I'd really get to be out here and be one of Bartholomew's adventurers. This has been the best wish I ever had. And that was the only wish I ever had, but it's the only thing I ever wanted. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for teaching me how to be a brave adventurer like all you.
And make sure you ask Bartholomew what you get for beating the story tier boss fight.
This was my boss fight? I'm fabled now?
No.
Yes.
You're actually going to be a story adventure. Then you could be.
Oh.
You get 100 Bartholomew bucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe.
And with that, eventually you find yourselves back at the shop, and Bartholomew looks up. Greetings, adventurers. I trust that you all did well on this particular
Yes,
endeavor.
we did. Annie beat up a hobgoblin.
Did you really? Incredible. What a debut for such a young one as yourself. But I imagine you also learned a valuable lesson about heroism and that you should wait until you're older. And he goes, no, I did really good. I'm going to go out again every week. And Bartholomew goes, well, I owe all of you 100 Bartholomew bucks.
Including Annie.
100?
Yeah,
What do you mean 100?
I know. Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be in there. Don't worry about it. She's only getting 100. So.
Oh.
And he hands out 100 Bartholomew bucks to Annie, and then 100, and then a kind of a palmed additional 100 to each of you. And congratulations, you have completed on this adventure and made a child's dreams come true. Great work, you guys.
Yay!
Yay. Omen was a good boy.
With that, would any of you like to shop?
Nope.
How much
No.
is it? Wait, I gotta take a look at the shop. Give me a second.
I really don't.
You know what?
And he
doesn't
goes,
matter.
make my armor glow. And Bartholomew glamours her shirt.
Oh.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. And hearing going once, going twice.
I think no one.
We'll be back shortly with our second adventure of the evening. Stay tuned, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.